We're previewing and predicting Group F of the FIFA World Cup. You have Tunisia, Netherlands, Japan, and Sweden. Look, Netherlands, arguably the best country to never win the World Cup, the most prestigious country in a footballing basis to never win the World Cup. They've produced some great talent, great players. And this team also has some very good players. You have Virgil van Dijk at the back as well, who's going to be captaining the side. You have players like Frenkie de Jong in the midfield. So this is a Netherlands team with some expectations. They reached the semifinals of these past European Championships as well. Conceded a last-minute goal, or they could have been going to the final. And yeah, they're managed by Ronald Koeman. Not the best, send off to the World Cup. They have 2 friendlies, 2 losses to Uzbekistan and Algeria. Obviously, you're subbing out all your 10 guys in the 50th, 60th minute, so I don't take too much, into that. But they qualified comfortably. They are a good, strong unit. I think Ronald Koeman is not the best of coach and maybe hinders them a bit. But this is a team that still should be expected to win this group and should still be expected to make at least a quarterfinal run, similarly to what they did in 2022. It seems like everybody's second favorite team is always Japan, and I understand why. I mean, they play some really good football. If you look at what they did in the last World Cup, they beat Spain, they beat Germany, they did it in impressive fashion. They played great football. But the thing that concerns me about this team is that they're missing Matoma, they're missing Minamino, and then on top of that, Endo, who's their captain in midfield, he's gonna be in a race to be fit for that opening game. He's had a rough season so far as well for him. He's been out till February, so that concerns me. And also, it seems like with Japan, they play good football. They're good on the eye, but there's always a cap to them. They're always getting eliminated in around the 16 range. They're never really winning the Asian Cup, despite them always, arguably in my opinion, always being the best team in Asia. They haven't won one going back to a long while now. So that's what concerns me about this Japan team. It seems like when it comes to that moment to really arrive, they don't. But they still have quality, and I still think they're probably the second best team in this group, I'll say. Man, Sweden has been a rough World Cup qualifiers for them. They didn't win a single game in a group that they should have at least finished second. They didn't manage a win, and going up against some of these lower end European sides, they were able to bring in Graham Potter, and they had a second life through the Nations League and going through in the playoff, and they did that, playing a magical game against Poland, winning 3-2, going back and forth with them. Look, Sweden, they don't have Zlatan, they don't have those guys, they don't have a Henrik Larsson, but there's still quality in this team. Gyökeres, Isak, there's still players to work with, and if they are able to get it together, this is a sneaky good team, and I would not want to face them. But still this past international window or these send-off games, I thought they played really poor against Norway. They got dominated by Norway. They were down 3-0 at half, I believe, or something of that sort. So I don't know about this Sweden team. On paper, on quality, they're probably the second best, team in this group. I think they have better players, individual probably, than Japan. But as a team, as a unit, there's just something about them that's missing. There, as I said, they had a terrible qualifier, so I'm really interested. But if they were able to get it together and they can start off this World Cup strong when they take on Tunisia, I don't know. Maybe they can build on that momentum under Graham Potter. And if they are, man, these are one of those teams that I wouldn't want to face. Look, Tunisia is a team that I really respected. These last 2 World Cups, 2018 they beat Panama. 2022 they shocked and upset. They beat France. They also played a really good game against Denmark. They were very unlucky not to get out of that group in 2022. And I always thought that they could build on the momentum. They have Hannibal Mejbri, who's 4 years older than he was in 2018. Probably the best player Tunisia has developed over the last 15 years or so. But this Tunisia team had a terrible AFCON. They were so hard to watch. They sacked their coach. They brought in Lamouche, who hasn't been great either. I believe in the last 4 friendlies so far, they've scored 1 goal. Something about this team is missing something. They don't have the players in the attack, and because of that, I just think they're gonna finish last because they're not gonna be able to score goals against the likes of Japan, against the Netherlands, against the Sweden. That's really what it comes down to. I think they'll be able to make all those games competitive, but at the end of the day, I just think they won't score enough goals. They won't create enough opportunities. They didn't create enough opportunities in AFCON, and this is a different level. So I do think Tunisia is the team that will finish the bottom of this group. So as I said, that yeah, Tunisia is going to finish bottom. I think Sweden will finish third, but again, if they're able to get it together with the quality that they have, who knows what they can do. And then I'm gonna say Japan finished second, Netherlands finished first. I think those injuries Japan have suffered, I think they will show themselves. I still think Japan will get out of the group, but not as winners. I think the Dutch will pull it all off, even though I'm not that sold on Ronald Koeman.